Hello everyone, it is Darkthorn the Oracle here for another video. I just want to clear the space out before I begin this reading. This reading is for the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, your message is coming after a long span of questions and communications that I've been getting in. From spirit, from source, from ancestors. Just been getting these messages in. And Divine Feminine, your focus is on being happy. And a lot of why you haven't been happy is feeling that you are not seen. You just want someone to see you. And you've been looking around for someone to see you, screaming out in your soul for someone to just see you. Let me cleanse that out of there. Cleanse that. Because I felt that. You want someone to see you. You wanted your divine masculine to see you, if we're being all the way with it. You were looking for your divine masculine to see you, and you're not understanding, if he's your divine masculine, why he doesn't see you. If anyone should see you, it should be your divine masculine. But you got to understand, your DM doesn't see himself. So he certainly can't see you right now, Divine Feminine. So I'm going to use my newer decks for your reading. Because I feel that there's some interesting messages in there, in my newer decks. And then I'm going to jump into here for some messages. I'm kind of going to do yours like I did the Divine Masculines reading recently. Except that for this deck in my hands and this deck here, I'm going to read the messages directly for both. Because I have found that these specific cards have some very interesting messages. And the way that they articulate in this book is just magnanimous. And I feel that you deserve to hear not only the message from me, but the message as the creators of these cards and these decks meant them to be displayed. Because there's some interesting messages in there that are going to be essential to making this click for you finally. Essential to helping you understand why, number one, no one can see you, and number two, why you don't see yourself. Because just as much as it's a problem that the divine masculine doesn't see himself, so he can't see you, no one can see you because you don't see yourself as well, Divine Feminine. This is a mirroring act here. And you're taking it as just the divine masculine's issue that you're not happy. Because everything could be so simple. You could both be so happy if he would just let you do this or listen to you about that. But it wouldn't be simple because there's a lot that you need to learn in separation, which is why the separation persisted. Like that. Like that. No. I was right in the first place. Just stick to your instincts first. And I'll even pull these out first. All right. So I'll flip them all at once because it's only right. And we'll invite some other energy in here to help you out, Divine Feminines. I find it very interesting because if you were here for the Divine Masculines reading when I did it, he got King of Shells, heart space energy. You both got your roles in the divine counterpart relationship both came out in your readings. In the Divine Masculines reading, he got King of Shells, which is the visionary. Heart space, passions come together. He got the visionary because he's the visionary. You are the empath. He can see it, you feel it. And you're guided energetically, whereas he's guided visually. You got the empath here. We are starting with here, like we did the Divine Masculines here. Protection, 29. This is my house, stained by the very blood flowing through these walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayers, yet deadly to those who dare lift it hidden. Your house, your body, your feelings, your emotions, your heart chakra, that's your house. You house yourself, Divine Feminines, in your heart chakra. That's where the Divine Feminine is housed. Your house is stained by blood, covered in prayers, blood, trauma, prayers and manifestations. This says, keyword, safety and hidden. You find safety in being hidden in your heart chakra, which is why you shut it down, you keep it closed, you tuck it away, because you're afraid of unveiling it to the wrong person and being hurt again. The message in the book says, many of us have had to search out our own safety. Since beginning our journeys as spiritual healers, students, and teachers, we face criticisms for being witches, faced jealousy for being true to our past, and had to withstand attacks from our own egos. Your ego is one of the biggest oppositions to your heart chakra. Your ego comes in and attacks you. Nobody attacks you more than you. And by you, I mean your ego. But we rise and keep going with fearless determination. We know we have our spiritual team, our ancestors, guides, and angels to support us and keep us from harm. You're always protected, my dearest witch, no matter how scary the world may seem or how many things go bump in the dark night of your soul. Within you is a space that cannot be harmed, penetrated, or shaken. Here, you can retreat to heal and find comfort. You need only step through the veil into the arms of those who love and care for you. You've been seeing the veil when you wake up, and sometimes in the middle of the day, when you've been doing something for too long, you see the veil. You can see it clearly over everything else because you can peek through it. You have the ability as the empath to peek through that. If you have drawn protection, know that all is well and you are safe. Your spiritual support team will protect you from harm. You are protected from hexes, evil eyes, danger, psychic attacks. You are even protected from the dangers of your earth-based ego. Your ego won't destroy you. Your divine masculine won't destroy you. Any karmic won't destroy you. Any shadow won't destroy you. Any trauma, any tower. You are indestructible. You are protected. Know that you can handle anything. When you're feeling unsafe, speak to the powers that be. Ask them to guide you where you do not have eyes and keep you safe when you are in harm's way. They are always walking with you and are ready to provide you with additional support whenever you feel the need to ask. And I say, Divine Feminines, you understood that the time came to ask. And that's why your ancestors appear here. Because you were in this space where you were trying to protect yourself on your own. And you knew it came time to ask for help. 18 was about alignment. Alignment speaks to being in vibrational match in your life. You were trying to manifest and using your energies to manifest, but you realized that you were out of alignment. That's your sideways card. That's where things went left. That's where things went sideways. You were out of alignment. And so you were trying to manifest, but you were manifesting from a place of fear instead of love. Out of fear that you would lose the divine masculine, out of fear that you would never be seen, out of fear that you had already lost yourself and you didn't have anything left, out of fear that people would find out that things weren't going well, out of fear that people would think you're crazy if you tell them about this journey, you were operating out of fear. And so to eliminate feeling or seeing your fears manifest, you manifested out of that fear, and that threw you out of alignment. Look at where your desires and manifestations are being seeded. If your plans or dreams aren't unfolding as you would like them to, it's time to take a deeper look at other areas in your life. Is there something out of step with integrity? Were you manifesting on behalf of your divine masculine, even though you didn't have permission from your divine masculine? Were you trying to manifest their lives for them without their permission, without their say-so, and without their integration? Are you making decisions through fear or love? Again, you were trying to manifest out of fear because you were trying to protect yourself in your heart chakra from a heartache that you knew would be monumental in your head, but you dared not ask your heart. If it is through fear or avoidance, your manifestations may seemingly backfire to encourage experiences that will bring you back into balance. You were trying to manifest union on behalf of your divine masculine to be with you, and that backfired into you being in separation yet again. That backfired into any communication being shut off yet again. That backfired into you having to come to a moment where you had to leave the divine masculine. That backfired into a moment where you again had reached the low that you had vowed that you wouldn't reach anymore. And now you are at this place where you have to bring your life back into balance. You had manifested so much against the divine masculine where you wanted him to be and how you wanted him to be in union with you that you neglected your spiritual ascension, your self-love and self-care, your own shadow work, your own meditation, your own prayer. If you've ever seen Tyler Perry play, Class Reunion, everyone was there at the hotel for the class reunion. And some people were there for anniversaries, and some people were there doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing. Some people were there trying to rekindle. But there was one couple that was there where she went and manifested him into her life so hard by praying and praying and praying in church. And the moment she got him, she left the church because she didn't need him anymore. She didn't need the church anymore because she had her man. Well, at the moment that she did that, things started to crumble because she manifested so hard on his behalf for him to come to her and for him to come in. Then when she did that, what she actually manifested was separating herself from the ability to commune with her ancestors, separating herself from the ability to commune with God and her spiritual guides. And when she did that, she was not able to see the red flags. She was not able to understand that the man that she manifested into her life was not the divine masculine. The man she manifested into her life was a karmic. She manifested on behalf of someone so hard that anything that came into her life, if it even remotely appeared to be what she thought she wanted, she latched onto it. And in doing so, she left her divine masculine, whoever he was, out in the cold. And she picked up a karmic who was somebody else's divine masculine. You manifested for your divine masculine so hard in this situation that you pushed him away, and you removed yourself from the ability to discern when you were slipping, to discern when you were moving in ego, to discern when your ego had taken over, to discern when your flower was wilting and you needed it to be watered. It's time to become a vibrational match for what you're seeking. Vibrate higher, divine feminines. Find happiness and joy. Instead of striving harder for something, cultivate the feeling of already having all that you seek. You've had this reading before. Act as if your divine masculine is already here. As if you were already in union, what would you be doing? I guarantee your house wouldn't look a mess. I guarantee you wouldn't be days without brushing your teeth or showering. I guarantee you wouldn't be down in the dumps all the time. I guarantee you wouldn't let your business fall by the wayside. I guarantee you wouldn't be stuck in dead-end jobs that you didn't want to be in. I guarantee that you wouldn't be in a lackluster life. You would want to have all of the fulfillment for you and your divine masculine that you could possibly have. You'll be surprised at what this shift is. Perspective. You're out of alignment because your perspective is off. Mystery, magic, intrigue, suspense. You're entering unknown territory. You know what that unknown territory is? Unconditional love is your unknown territory. It is magical but suspenseful, and suspenseful scares the mess out of you, divine feminines. You choose not. You choose against having your divine masculine. You don't know it though, but you and your actions vote against your divine masculine about 7 to 8 out of 10 times. Because you're trying so hard to manifest them into your life, or you were. We'll use past tense since this is the past period. But you were trying so hard that you threw it off balance. 2 hearts can beat as one if you are in balance. If I go into the book, there's a part in this book for the 2 of shells that says, turn on your love light. You had turned yours off because you didn't want anybody to see you in there, in your heart space. You wanted to be protective. True love is trying to call you. True love is trying to come in. Unconditional love is nurturing. Unconditional love will never act out of your best interest. Unconditional love will support you through your journey. That is what you were missing. That's why you can't be seen. You don't have unconditional love for yourself, so how can you give what you don't have to someone else? That's why it's turned on its side. Ancestors. Now you've called upon your spirit guides, your ancestors. Now you're communing again in prayer. Now you're doing the things that you need to do. Now, let's read number 3 for your ancestors. They hiss, a quivering so deep, only roots of your soil can lift the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence, an ancient chill walking upon the spine. That is your ancestors. You hear how powerful that sounds? Because that's how powerful they come for you. Protection and guidance is the key words. What you were missing here were protection and guidance, and it's right here. So even if you don't believe in your ancestors, you just believe in God, even if you believe in just discernment, you turned your back on that and it was trying to help you. Now you're inviting it in with your new energy. You're inviting it in to come help you. As you're here, almost defeated, trying to wrest yourself back to health, they're right here watching over you and protecting you and making sure that when you come back, you have not been scathed by voyagers and vultures, carnivores, parasites that have come to take you at your lowest point. Your ancestors are always with you, protecting you. They watch over you and keep you from harm's way. They are present, telling you that it's safe to go forward and you absolutely need to. You feel them with you. They always protect you from things you cannot see, like someone trying to put a hex on you or someone who's talking about you behind your back. These threats never make it to you because your ancestors have protected you without having to ask. They want what is best for you, and they love you unconditionally. That unconditional love that you can't seem to find for yourselves. Your ancestors already have that for you, and they try to pour it into you, but you have blocked off your own heart chakra. You have blocked off yourself to protect you from any pain, but what you're doing is protecting yourself from love, because your ancestors, God, source, spirit, divine, try to pour that into you all the time, and you block it with your negativity. You block it with your closed heart chakra. You block it. You block your own protection. You block your own love and light. You block it. They protect you without even having to ask. You know, when you're late and you're just like, you keep hitting red light after red light after red light, and you're not understanding why, because there is something ahead that they are protecting you from. There is an accident that could very well have happened with someone not paying attention to the road that they were on. That had all the lights been green, you would have ran right into and could have died or ended up in the hospital, had to have an amputation. Any type of thing could have happened, but they saw it, they foresaw it, and they protected you from it. Rest easy. You have chosen this card because you are being protected and guided, even if you can't see how. Everything that has brought you here has been for a purpose. There is some lesson, blessing, or miracle in every situation you ever faced, good or bad. Trust in those who watch over you. Know that there are thousands, maybe millions of your ancestors who have walked before you, sharing their love, wisdom, and protection. Be sure to thank them, because you wouldn't be here if they hadn't walked in their hardships before you. Many have lived and died, laughed and suffered and sacrificed so that you could be here. Honor your ancestors by trusting them to watch over you. Call on them when you feel alone or afraid, and give your fears to them, allowing them to hold you as you walk through the path of life. Allow them your fears. Allow them to help you through. Allow them the courtesy of doing their job of protecting you and guiding you and showing you where you need to be. Because they're trying to love you unconditionally, and you're trying to block out any type of love that could possibly bring any pain. And in doing so, you blocked out all types of love. So open yourself up to your ancestors. Open yourself up to God, source, spirit, divine. Open your heart chakra and allow your fears to pour out into your ancestors and allow them to protect you from that. Now you're healing. Your energy is rebalancing. You become more aware of where you need to be in life. So the message is: extend the margins of your awareness. Revisit the situation in question from a broader perspective of higher vibration with a focus on healing. This will help you decipher what is real, possible ways forward, and whether an issue is really a problem at all. This card also signifies the universal push that inspires you to explore your healing abilities. It's whatever way that looks to you. So whether that looks like therapy, shadow work, crying, venting, vlogging, whatever way that looks to you, whatever way healing looks to you, masturbating, whatever way healing looks to you, just don't make someone else responsible for your healing. You seek out your own healing. Okay? So don't make anyone force you to go to therapy when you know you need therapy. Don't make anyone force you to do your shadow work when you know you need to do shadow work. Don't make anyone force you to meditate when you know you need to meditate. Take charge of your own healing, because it makes you feel like you're in charge of your own life. Instead of life happening to you, make life happen for you. And the place that you can start is by looking at what things you regret the most and change them so that they can empower your choices for the better. You are the empath. You feel everything. You can feel your way through this. But a lot of that is that key word of feel. And you refuse to feel. And that's a lot of what's keeping you behind. So let's look at what the Queen of Shells says. She says, the eyes of the Queen of Shells upright seem to look away from whoever she is speaking to. If she chooses to do so, however, she can see into a person's soul and future with her psychic intuition. You have the intuition. Intuition comes with being an empath. That's why you are an empath. He has the vision, you have the intuition, so rely on your intuition. Rely on those feelings. She is classically trained empath and can shield herself from the negativity of others. She cares deeply about all things, but is fully aware that they can bear unlimited and ultimate responsibilities for what they do with what life has given them. You are about to meet or be called upon to emulate a person with the compassion of the Queen of Shells. It may be time to visit a reputable professional, intuitive counselor, like a therapist, perhaps. You and or a romantic partner needs to be sympathetic to the foibles of human frailty, yours included. Be empathetic to yourself. You have empathy for everyone but yourself. Sometimes just because you know better doesn't mean you do better. Knowing better means you can do better, but it doesn't mean that you immediately do better, because not necessarily do you know or have the resources capable to do better just because you know you have to do better. So seek somebody out that can help you. Be a shoulder to cry on, but offer advice only if specifically requested. Be kind and compassionate, the truly spiritual way to live. Think with your heart, not your head. Learn how those in need cope with life challenges. Cry in the mirror if you have to. Cry to yourself. Be your own shoulder if you need to be. Learn how those in need cope with their life challenges and share your knowledge of tolerance and humility. A sensitive, intuitive dreamer who acts on his or her dreams can teach you about affection, kindness, faith, and forgiveness. Find someone that inspires you in the name of love. Find someone who, when you see them, embodies what you want when it comes to love. Find a couple whose relationship seems similar to what it is that you envision when you envision love. Then dive into the relationship so that you can see that everything isn't love, light, and blessings and rainbows and unicorns all the time. There are rough patches that people hit, and that's okay too, and you can still love each other and have a rough time. Because you need to be disillusioned from your idea of love so that you can understand that unconditional love is something that you never ever understood in your life, never ever actually seen before in your life, so that you can relearn what love is in a new way and unlearn the falsehood of what you thought love was. Love, light, and blessings to you, and I'll see you in a future video.